Hey guys, Scott Fishman here. As we head into the road to WrestleMania, or we say roads to WrestleMania, I should say, what a perfect guest today to have as we get ever so closer, someone who you could say has a pretty close tie to one of the main eventers of WrestleMania 40. Teal Rhodes, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? Nice to finally talk in person.
Yes, for sure. So it's amazing. She's here, of course. We'll talk a little bit about WrestleMania and Cody and all that stuff. But one of the main reasons I did want to bring her on is because her and her family are doing some incredible work to honor the legacy of her father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, through the Dusty Rhodes Foundation. And I can say that personally because I was personally impacted by the Dusty Rhodes Foundation. One day last year, we do fundraising here at the local YMCA of Central Florida, and we share similar missions and everything that we have going on. So one day my director comes up and mentions that we had a big donation for $1,000 and it was from the Dusty Rhodes Foundation. I didn't solicit it at all. I guess Teal saw on social media the cause,
Yeah.
and just as well, it just kind of touched as well. So it's just amazing to see the work of, nonprofits. It's so important. Nonprofit organizations, like for example, 1 in 4 of our local YMCA is on a scholarship. So they
Wow.
are greatly impacted by these donations and funds and things like that, and you guys as well. So first off, just talk about, I believe it founded in 2022. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it was. It took us a little while to get going and get everything official, but really we saw a need. There's just such a big gap now for kids and, basically kids getting priced out of sports. All kinds of kids in rural areas, kids in, underserved communities. And so much of sports now is moving to these big travel programs, these year-round programs that are just so expensive, and you don't have a local kind of little league or local programs that used to be sponsored by businesses now are just being privately funded by parents, we find a lot of the time. And there's just a big gap there for a lot of kids as really everything gets more and more expensive. So we just really thought that would be an amazing way to honor my dad, because it was something he did privately for years, was, buy equipment, help pay travel fees for kids to play sports. And, he was an athlete himself, and he really believed in the skill set kids learn from, playing sports.
What are you most proud of since the time that you guys launched to? I mean, you go on the website, DustyRhodesFoundation.org, and you see all the
Yeah.
great organizations that you've helped. And it's not even just within the community, like in Georgia or per se. It's national. Like you have helped people from all across the country. So talk about just how many
Yeah.
people. Do you have any kind of data as far as, the reach of this and the money that, where the money is gone?
Sure. So we, besides the fees, from PayPal when you're donating through those kind of sites, we don't have any overhead. So we are giving, we've been very blessed that, people that have signed for us or worked with us have donated really all their time. And, we have such little fees that we can really just send it all to, whoever we've chosen. I think we're at over 50 grand we've given away. And that's really just been raised from, us doing the cons, from the t-shirts we sell on Pro Wrestling Tees. And we're definitely looking for corporate sponsors so we can, make a bigger impact. But I mean, we've given everything from baseball equipment in Maui to a team that lost everything in the fire, the Lunas, and to girls wrestling equipment for a girls team in South Carolina that needed some mats. So, we've had people reach out to us, and we've reached out to people, and we see, hey, if we can get them 10 grand, that can make a big difference. Whereas some of the bigger foundations, you don't really know where the money's going. So as soon as we donate, we like to update the website so people that have donated in the past and supported us can see, hey, we already gave all this money away to kids.
Yeah. And you guys aren't just doing, okay, it's the Dusty Rhodes Foundation. We have, all these workers. You guys are taking a lot of time out of your own schedule as a family. Your mom, you, so many
Yes.
others. Talk about just this labor of love, and just because, people might look at it like, hey, is this all she like? I know this is not all you do, so it's like amazing that you have that, you put all so much time and effort into this.
Yeah, it's it really is, like you said, it's a labor of love. It's something that we all feel passionately about. And it was a way for us to come together as a family, my siblings and I. And for my mom, it was kind of, you know, a healing thing for us too. It's like, how can you make a difference, and how can we honor our dad in a way that's separate from wrestling and the things that you see on TV that really honor, that speaks more to the man that he was, and not just the character on TV. But everybody's been involved. Obviously, Cody is super involved, and we'll have Dustin signing for us at WrestleCon in Philly on Friday for the first time. And it being attached to Mania and Cody and everything that's going on, I think it's just an awesome way for fans to come say hi, meet us. They can learn more about the foundation at the booth. And specifically this year, we're donating to Beat the Streets Philly. And that is an awesome organization that helps high-risk kids get into amateur wrestling. And if we can get them, our goal is about 20 grand, we can get them a whole nother mat room. We can help them with the build out of that because they've purchased some more space, because that's a growing program and there is a great need there. Some of the schools in Philly are some of the most underfunded in the country. So they don't even have weight rooms at a local high school.
Um, you touched on it. It's just amazing, for me anyways, because how giving and generous the pro wrestling community is. It's a
Yeah.
community within itself, but it's very giving. I'm myself, AEW has donated a turnbuckle that I'm doing a raffle of my own. WWE has donated tickets, of course, with you, Natalia, Britt Baker. There's such a tribalism
Awesome.
with the wrestling fan community on social media, but everyone is one fan. We're all one here. And what is it like for you? Because you have Ricky Starks also a part of this
Yeah.
signing. So, how is it for you to kind of see the wrestling community come together and support of these great organizations and what the work you're doing? Because they're
It's
donating their
great.
time.
Yeah, I have a really have always had a friendly relationship with Tony Khan, and of course, he's been generous enough to let us use his talent. Yes, Dustin is a board member on the foundation, but he didn't have to let us use Ricky or some of the other talent that have signed for us. So that's never been a problem that I've encountered, and it's a great cause, and it's kind of like you said, having other people sign. Natty's so great that, and, donate for you guys, raising that money for the Y, which obviously the Y does such, amazing work. And that's such a great program that kids really need. So there definitely is tribalism, and I've participated in it for sure. But as far as when the wrestling community comes together and fans, it's so powerful, because pro wrestling fans really, I feel, are the most loyal in all fandoms, really.
How is it for you? You touched on it. You're very active on social media. I love of you interacting with the engagement that you do. Do you find you become more of a fan now than you were back then, or it seems like you're very engaged with everything going on?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is just such a, I mean, it's, everybody says it's such an exciting time to be a fan, but really for the last couple years, with the changing landscape in wrestling and bringing so many new fans to wrestling, and also bringing back old fans who hadn't watched in years. And I kind of feel like that's where I was for a while. I mean, I definitely had a younger family then too, so I wasn't watching as much TV, but this is just kind of week to week, you're seeing amazing matches and storylines across pro wrestling. It's kind of that feeling of, you don't want to miss out. You want to tune in every week. And I feel like, it had been a while for me since I had really felt like I want to watch live.
Yeah. How is it for you? Roads to the Top. course, drew attention to you and the
Yeah,
family and stuff. I was, one of the sad things about Cody, it was great that he re-signed with WWE, but I was like, oh, I was looking forward to another season of this because
I
you
know.
were a favorite of that show. So I'm curious how is it kind of being more of a public figure now? People know you and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's fun, and it's supposed to be fun. And I felt just a really strong connection with a lot of wrestling fans after my dad passed. They wanted to share things with me. And that's, how we did it was, just through me being on Twitter, wrestling Twitter for so long. And it really boosted me in a time where I felt so low. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, unsavory elements of, being online. But for me, that wasn't one of them. It's so much more positive than I've seen negative even now. So that's why I still enjoy interacting that way. But I think that, it is, being more public has just kind of been born out of all the things Cody did and created and getting things going. I feel like I, had a hand in it in the back when we were doing All In. And I just kind of have carried that through now, with working on the foundation. That's been really fulfilling for me.
And with that, you're also working with Turnbuckle Wrestling, kind of
Yes.
following your dad's legacy in that sense. So talk a little bit about that, bringing that out, and how fun it is to be at the shows and take an active role in that.
Yeah, so we had a great first event, and actually our the pilot for TCW will air this Friday on the YouTube channel, which is at Nightmare Family. So if people want to watch that, they can tune in at 6 on Friday. But we had a great first event. Right now, we're building out the studio at the Nightmare Factory so we can run TV or run Turnbuckle hopefully once a month. And we're still looking at distribution and excuse me, what's the best way for fans to view the shows. But that's been really exciting. That's not something I ever thought I would do when the original TCW was founded here. I mean, indie wrestling is it's so different now, and it's exciting to have a place where the Nightmare Factory students can hone their craft, but we can also bring in all this great indie talent and hopefully a TCW legend from the past, for a match each show, and bring that to McDonough, Georgia. And it's a family show. Our TCW shows are really family friendly, and that's what it was before. So I'm trying to continue that. So it's new, but it's exciting.
That's awesome. And you mentioned we're on the road to WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes is on both nights.
Two nights.
We're all emotionally invested. I'm a very emotionally invested person. I have
Yeah.
a little Pharaoh
Oh,
dog
Pharaoh.
that my wife made me buy at the Royal Rumble. But I mean, I have to admit that I actually think he's really cute, and I'm happy that she did get him. But for you, it's gotten a lot of personal, with The Rock and Cody Rhodes. Family mentioned by name, mom mentioned. How is it for you to see this getting a little personal? Are you open to the idea if they asked you to appear on the show in some form? Would you be open to that? Talk a little bit about how everything's been unfolding that we've seen.
Yeah. I think it's always assumed that the Rhodes family is just an extension of Cody because he talks about us so much that we are required to participate. But with my mom, it's just funny because she really is a private person and she is shy and she gets, drawn into these kind of great, bits of, storytelling and wrestling. But Cody is so much like her. And I think that, of course, we're so proud that Dusty was our dad, but, we're really proud that, Michelle Rubio is our mom and, her heart for others and things that she's done to build people up in the business that I don't think people will ever know about. But yeah, sometimes I feel bad for her. It's just, she's just watching Raw or SmackDown and, here comes The Rock talking about my sweet little mom. So it's definitely a wild time for the Rhodeses.
Yeah. Well, so would you do anything on television if they asked you, or
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
okay.
I think so. I think that that's always there. If if they need me, I can certainly get ready to go.
Nice. From a put your wrestling fan hat on and also being a family member, a lot of people would love to see Dustin Rhodes some sort of appearance at WrestleMania. You mentioned how Tony Khan has been so open, having huge talent, things like that. Is that something that you think we would see? Or even Dustin even attending, show backstage? I mean, are we going to see Dustin at all, you think?
I don't know. Dustin was there with us in the suite last year, and we joke we're a real family. Of course, your little brother's maining 2 nights of the biggest WrestleMania in history. I think Dustin will be there. Will we see Dustin? That I don't know.
Awesome. All right. For the Dusty Rhodes Foundation, I'm just curious, what have you guys set up kind of a goal for yourself with each year of what you want? Like, is there like an ultimate goal with this? I mean, obviously you're looking for the corporate sponsors.
Right.
You're doing all
That's
this
a big
stuff
one.
already. So what is kind of the overall step forward that you hope to take? Is it a partnership with like a WWE too to kind of have that connection or?
Yeah, we would love, obviously to partner with them, and they do so much great community work also. But we're really open to any, corporate sponsors. Our goal is to really be able to give where we can make the most impact. And so far, we're finding that that is in these smaller programs, so smaller high schools, rural high schools, and then programs like Beat the Streets Philly. That's actually, they have a national branch. We would like to move to be able to kind of just spread the wealth more in some of these already, these really well-established nonprofits that also like us are operating at low overhead, not when you're giving to these huge corporations. So we're just looking to continue to grow and partner, and looking to do some more fundraising things like galas and golf tournaments, hopefully featuring some of the great people that have been so generous that you and I spoke about. We would love to do something like that in the future.
Yeah, definitely. It takes definitely a grassroots hit the ground, boots to the ground, and kind of just keep pushing forward. And hopefully,
Yeah.
you tug at the heartstrings enough, with
Yeah.
to feel like they are part of it and committed. And,
Yeah.
people, it's tax season, tax deductible donations are
That's
always
right.
good.
That's
Um,
right.
so just kind of reiterate WrestleCon. You guys are there Friday and Saturday. Dustin Rhodes is there from 10 to 2. Ricky Starks is there from 9 to 1. And then you're gonna have that raffle. I know a
Two
lot of
raffles.
two
Yeah.
raffles. Okay, so
Sorry.
tell me about I know we have the Cody autograph weight belt, so tell me about what else you got going on.
Yeah. So we'll have one weight belt each day, and we've done that both times. And then we're going to have one of Cody's robes
Ooh,
that for a fee you'll be able to, you can wear it, take a picture with it. It was a big hit when we were at SummerSlam in Detroit, where Brandy generously signed for us. We raised a ton of money for an awesome skating organization there in Detroit, and I think the robe is from SummerSlam. So I think that'll be really exciting for fans to come put it on. And, we've got some giveaways, some Dusty Rhodes Foundation
I
bracelets
saw
and
those.
things like
Yeah,
that.
that's great.
Yeah, just so we could, give you some information. We'll have some information about Beat the Streets Philly as well. And we just want everybody to come say hi. They can meet Mama Rhodes and me. We'll be there for both of those signing times, both days. And if we need to stay a little longer, we will. But we'll definitely have the belts and the photo op with the robe longer each day. So if you miss the signing in the morning, you could still stop by the booth and give a donation or get some info.
So you and Mama Rhodes available for photos and autographs also? If
Always.
okay, yeah, I think we want to get
Yeah,
the
we're gonna have to start charging for my mom, for Michelle, though, because
yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
she's a big
Uh,
star.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, I love the documentary on A&E. I mean, that really kind of drove home everything that you guys
Thank you.
stand for and what, I just it was amazing to see him get his flowers that he did.
They
Dustin.
did a great job. It was that was a labor of love. We really worked hard on it as a family, and we were lucky to be able to have the input
But yeah.
too. Yeah.
And then lastly, for those that aren't going to WrestleCon and hear what we're talking about, why don't you let people know where to find the Dusty Rhodes Foundation, where to donate, also follow you, and then all that good stuff.
Yes. So you can donate via PayPal at DustyRhodesFoundation.org. You can also just visit the website for more information. You can follow Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling across all socials at IG's Turnbuckle_championship, and Facebook is Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling. And if you want to talk shop with me, I'm always on Twitter at Teil Margaret, and love to have a chat.
But be careful what you send because you might not like what you get back, right?
I can handle it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was great to talk to you.
Okay.